just to give you like, I would like to intro this, um, just with some facts here. Like, Repsol has become the benchmark for in-house innovation in Spain. You have achieved a 96% adoption of generative AI through the Protea transformation project. Should we just crack on and start with some questions? Javier, how do you feel about that? Yeah?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Amazing. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is adoption at scale. As I was just saying, like you have achieved that 96% adoption of generative AI technology, and it would be super interesting to understand like what would you say were those critical levers, the things that actually like move the needle from not only the pilot enthusiasm as such, but also the widespread sustained adoption at Repsol.
Well, as you said, we have many levers, and I want to start with the first thing that maybe is the key to everything. As you say, we were on a big transformation project with Protea that was affecting all the things we do at the in-house team. So people were in that mindset of we have to change, so that also encouraged everyone. But also we have a very clear leadership from Pablo Blanco, our general counsel, that he wanted that. And at the end, if the general counsel wants something, it goes from the top to the lowest of the levels.
You have to deliver.
Yeah, we have to deliver. But also, I think we were very lucky with a lot of things. The moment that we started, because it was not the beginning of the AI way, but was like in the peak where people were starting to see things outside the work. So people were interested. That's one point that I always say. The second one is that I think the pilot we prepared, that we spent a lot of time thinking and designing it, was also key because we are in 12 different countries where we have lawyers, we have 4 big different businesses and also a big corporation. So we have a lot of different use cases and things we do on the daily day. So in the pilot we prepare, and we are almost 200 professionals, and we have 50 people in the pilot. So having people for all the different areas, all the different countries, all the different teams was key, because in every team there was someone that was using Harvey, and it was like, okay, the rest of the team was hyped like, okay, that's useful. I want that. So even while the pilot, people were start to hyping each other, like, okay, compliance is doing this. I want to do this in corporate governance, for example. But then when we roll out everything, people were hyped with that. And also, I think another key point was that the company was at the time piloting Copilot. It's a bit funny, the wording. And not all people had Copilot. So also in the company, we were lucky that there was that mindset or environment that people were interested in AI. And then I think the last point is that we have a lot of work with all the teams, focus group, trying to find the use cases, and that helps, because at the end, if you have someone in the team, like a power user that is using it, and you see your colleague doing that, you are kind to start using it. And also, I think that when I always say that, it's a bit funny that once you prompt, you cannot stop. And I think that's also something key, that we are always encouraging people to try new things.
It's a really sticky technology, I would say, right? So, and it's something that like users can actually embrace.
Yes.
Easily. That's the way. That's the way.
Not only easily, but also that you can get results really fast.
Yeah.
From maybe the most basic use cases, make a summary of this contract. That's huge.
Yeah.
Instead of in 1 hour doing the first review, I can do that in 5 minutes, and you can do it in the first day.
And you made reference obviously to the cultural shift in a way. So how would you say how did you embed like that innovation mindset within the legal team to ensure that lawyers didn't just use the tool, but like actually would embrace new ways of working at the end of the day? Right?
Hardly, with a lot of work. No, I think the key point was all the Protea project, because you have everyone involved in the project. Everyone was involved in some kind of this. We have 14 different work streams, and everyone was in at least once.
Yeah.
So if you were, I don't know, maybe in the knowledge management work stream, you know that something was changing in that part, and you were more open to other transformation. And I think another 2 points in this mindset is we make everyone do a lot of trainings on digital, And it's very funny because a lot of people were complaining because I don't know why I have to spend 14 hours doing a Power BI course. And you are not going to do a Power BI, but you need to know what it is. You know to know what you can do, and also the brain needs to adapt. And this year, this was last year. This year, people are starting to see that their mind has changed, and we try to create that mindset of innovation with a lot of work, and also because we were on this big project that people knew or felt that you need to change how you do, how you work.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you said something that's super important here. It's not only about using the technology, but understanding the capabilities, the potential, because that's the way people will start having ideas. Like, what about if I try this? What about if I try that? Right?
Yeah.
So learning what it's capable of, I would say possibly it's like the first step in terms of enablement of users for sure.
Yeah, and I think another thing that happened is that people or our lawyers have started losing the fear to try. And because we are lawyers, we are not used to failing. We are not used to do something that is not perfect. That is, and with I'm not saying Harvey, I'm not saying AI. With everything technology related, you need to fail because it's the first one. Maybe your first prompt is not going to be the best. Probably the second neither, but you need to try.
Definitely. You also talked about like time savings, right? Like instead of doing things in hours, them in minutes. So yeah, there's this metric like saving 3 to 5 hours per week at Repsol. It's quite a strong metric, right? So I, I I would really like to understand like how do you connect like these efficiency gains as such to the actual business outcomes that really resonate, within the wider company, not only the legal team but the wider company as such.
That's my nightmare, trying to show all the company this. And I think because we are not only focusing like this is the time I'm saving, it's like I'm doing things that I couldn't be able to do if I haven't have 3 to 6 hours extra. And also, I think here this, we are lawyers, and our business is advising our clients. And if you are my client and I answer you in 3 days, you are going to complain.
Yeah.
If I do in 2 days, you are also going to complain.
Yeah.
And if I do it in 1 day, you are also going to complain. So I think in that side of implementation and rollout, I don't want to say it's impossible. It's very hard.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is, I will say, two different paths. The first one is when we have some very strong use case and where we use Harvey. It's like I did it with Harvey. I was able to do this in this time with that. For example, I don't know, with sanctions from the CNMC here in Spain, we have a bot with that information, and when we are answering very fast, if this specific case will be sanctioned, our team is saying, I use Harvey for this. I was able to do this quickly because of this. And that's the first path. And the second one is trying to reflect it internally. Because most of the things I think that we are saving time are more internally. For example, I'm not getting into reviewing contracts or regulation, but for example, analyzing all the contracts we have signed in the last 20 years. With Bolt, you can do it in 2 hours, maybe, instead of 1 month of 5 people.
Time savings
That's not for the client. It helps the client, maybe not in that efficiency in times, but also in quality. That's something
100%.
we try to focus that we are saving time for improving quality.
Yeah, and I mean, as you say, it's not only about efficiency in temporal terms as such, but about the output that you provide
Exactly, yeah.
in less time.
And with the time savings, another thing is a specific contract. If I needed to spend 4 hours to have this specific contract perfect, maybe I'm doing this with AI in 2 hours. And I'm using those 2 hours maybe with the same contract, but to see more databases, look for more examples, to double check another time. You are not, as a client, feeling that time saving, but you are really getting it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes sense, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult, and I think another point is that they are always asking us on reducing external expenses, and a lot of times you can not do that because you are using external counsel for big operations that you didn't know. It's difficult.
I'm being told that we have 2 minutes. So
Okay.
I will ask you one final question, which I'm sure everyone really wants to hear about. We've talked about how you've done so far, but like, I would like for us to look ahead, right? 2 years in, what's next for Protea? How do you keep momentum and ensure the program keeps evolving with such a fast-paced or a changing AI landscape as such?
This year the project is called Protea Bloom because Protea is a flower, and this year Protea is blooming. And we are focusing on consolidate, innovate, and building. And I think what expects for Protea and for all the legal team is, like I used to use the example of a transformation process is like reforming a house. So we have make the bathroom bigger, we have make the kitchen open to the living room, but now we have we have we have the dishwasher, we have the air fryer, whatever you think of, and maybe Harvey, for example, is like an air fryer. We have the air fryer, but now we have to clean it, we have to use it, and we have to try new recipes, new features, for example.
100%.
So I think that all the sector and people that are talking about transformation are always focusing on the specific projects. But the biggest part is consolidating it and using it. It doesn't make any sense if we have made a lot of effort in the last years to transform if we are not using it. And I'm saying Harvey, I'm saying the internal platform we have developed for matter management and document management system, but also, like I say, cleaning, that for me is maintenance. I try new recipes, new features, or maybe I have the dishwasher that is old that I need to get something new. So our focus right now is to improve what we have, to keep using what we have, to consolidate what we have, and continuously evolve and keep the market, scanning the market to see what happens.
And I love that air fryer example, actually.
I always use the house example for this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, both Harvey and the Global.
Well, thank you, Javier, today and always. Gracias.